So for the first task, we should add the second word constructor. Now here in my word class, I'm going to copy and paste the existing constructor and work off of that one as my base. Remember to copy the comments as well. So copy and paste. This second constructor will take in a third input, which will be the integer image resource ID. Remember that every time you modify the parameters for a constructor, or any other method in that case, it's always good practice to update the comments. So I'm going to do that here. So I added that the image resource ID is the drawable resource ID for the image associated with the word. So here in the body of the second constructor, I'm going to initialize the global image variable that we called mImageResourceID and initialize it to the value that's passed into the constructor. So it's going to be given the value imageResourceID. All right, so once this variable is initialized, any outside caller can access that variable through this public method, getImageResourceID. All right, so that completes the first task. Now for the second task, we're supposed to update all the category activities to now use the proper word constructor. Now let's take a look at what the activities look like. So heading over to the numbers activity, this is what it looks like when I'm done. Here I'm referencing the images that we added to our app, so calling number_1, number_2, so on and so on. And I also want to call out that Android Studio does a good job of pulling in the images, so you have a preview of what image you're calling in. Let's take a look at the colors activity. And notice here that I used a similar pattern to create the list of word objects for the corresponding images. And the same thing applies to our family activity. So the same code is used to create family word objects with their corresponding images. And I just think it looks really cute with all these little faces here. Now, last but not least, is our phrases activity. So taking a look at this, we notice that the phrases activity is unchanged. And that's okay, because we created each word object using the English and Miwok translations for the phrase. But we don't provide the third input to the word constructor because we don't have an image for each phrase. So in this case, we're using our word constructor that only takes in 2 inputs. So after making those code changes, I want to make sure the app still works by testing it on my device. So let's tap into a category. And we see that there's no visible changes just yet, but that will come next.